Alright, this is Mater. I will be showing you how to groom and tack up a horse. First, we're going to be using our curry comb as soon as I can get it back from him. What you do is it's a rubber curry, stop, and basically you go in a circular motion, and what I do is go against their hair, and what you'll do is their entire body, and it mostly gets like all dirt and debris, like kind of loose. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to do it on both sides. Alright, now, this is a hard brush. Obviously, it's in my favorite color. What you're going to do, it kind of gets that loose dirt from the curry comb and just kind of brushes it off. And this one, you go with the hair. You go all the way down their legs. Then you also don't want to forget their chest and their girth area. Because if you leave dirt on their girth, they'll just kind of rub and not be comfortable for the horse. And if you have an uncomfortable horse, obviously, not going to be a very fun ride. And then basically you do the exact same. Alright, now this is the hoof pick. So what you do is you kind of start at the top and then run your hand down the leg. And then usually they'll pick it up for you. And what you want to do is clean out their frog, which is really bad now because of the winter. And since there's snow, you want to get this ice out. There you go. And then for the back one, you kind of kind of pick it up. Make sure they don't obviously kick out at you. And basically you do things, and his feet are actually relatively usually clean anyway, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Just he needs to get them trimmed. Alright, so first, to tack up a horse, you're going to get a saddle pad. This is a thick pad. You'll notice that it's thicker, obviously. That's why it's called a thick pad. It's more commonly used in saddle seat or horses with kind of more sensitive backs. And since Mater's still a baby in my book, I use a thick pad. And what you're going to do is you're going to come onto the side, and then basically you're going to lift it up if the horse doesn't walk off. And then you put it on, and then here's their withers. You kind of want to either put it a little bit past their withers. Oh, baby. And kind of just keep it there. And then what you're going to do, you're going to come with the saddle, which this is an English cutback. So as you can tell, more cutback. And it's saddle seat because since saddlebreds have a higher neck headset. And this actually kind of has more of a, more cantle than most of them do. Usually they're more flat. And then you're going to come over. Lift it. You don't want to flop it on their back because then they'll associate it with a whole bunch of pressure. So I usually lift and just kind of gently put it on. I want to make sure it's not hung up. Oh, baby. This is the girth. It's more kind of like a commonly saddle seat girth. What? I guess compared to a Western cinch, we do have cinches out here. I just don't want to get one out. The cinches we have here, they're about that long. Same thing with dressage saddle, or not dressage saddles, dressage girths. They're usually about that long too because there's girth straps are usually a lot longer. And we're gonna fix this. Then we have our 3 little billets. So you're gonna use the first and the third. And then what I usually do is I'll put it on the first one and just tighten it up as it is. Put them on both first. You're going to come around to walk to the other side. Let's see. Alright, and then you're just going to bring it up. Oh. And obviously for him, it's too short for him. But originally what you do is you take it and you pull it up, and then you do it to where you can only fit about maybe 1 or 2 fingers through. Oh, stop. That's kind of basic right here. This is his very notorious orange brow band. And then I use him in a simple snaffle. Well, that's what I call it at least, and it's a half cheek, which is commonly more used as driving bits. And the difference between this and most hunter bridles is that it has 2 reins, which I'll show you over here. Up. So that you can see, here's the top rein, and then the bottom rein. bottom ring you kind of want to make sure when you actually are on the horse is to have them crossed and then have your hands through. But the martingale is kind of used to kind of get their nose down and in. And then I'm going to show you how to put it on. Hopefully Mater will cooperate with me because sometimes he doesn't. To get it on, what you're going to do is have the reins and the martingale together. What I do is I put it already over his head. Oh, babe. Good boy. Obviously having a 16 like hand horse is not the best thing. Then I take off one of the cross ties. So much for a cookie piece. Oh, babe. We just kind of let it there for now. And I took off the saddle because I didn't plan on working him afterwards, so. Then you take it, his halter off. And usually you're supposed to hang on your arm, but I usually throw it to the side. And then what you do is you take the headstall and you put it into your hands. You have the bit in the other. And what I do is I work it in. Oh. Good boy. Good boy! I know it's cold. And it's usually best to warm up your bit before you put it in their mouth. Oh, babe. And then you put his ears through. Oh. And then obviously, this is usually where the cavesson goes, and this is a cavesson. In hunt, oh babe, hunt and dressage, they call it a noseband. Oh, oh, oh. It's usually one of the main reasons why I throw my halter to the side is he's gotten this habit to backing up. Just get his other ear. Alright, and then we'll get the cavesson on. And then it goes on the inside. See, this is a no. This is a yes. And then you hook it. Or you can fit 2 fingers. And usually if you use the same bridle on the same horse all the time, it kind of gets a little indent in it. That's another way to tell where it's supposed to go on the specific horse. But if it's like a new bridle or you're sharing a bridle with another horse, oh, that's a good way to tell. Especially and also when their hair's in the way for their winter coat. Put it in. Oh, alright. Then it'll have like 2 little, oh, good boy. And we'll have the throat latch. Which now he's stepping on my pants, so I can't really move my leg. Back, back, back. So, and also when you do demos for videos, you should probably use a more experienced horse. Oh. Since Mater is barely 5, he turns 5 in either March or April. He's not the most best example of a horse to stand still. Oh. Oh. What you do is you'll bring up the throat latch, and sometimes the throat latch is big enough to where you have to go to the top hole, but since it's fuzz, it's really hard to tell where it should go. That. And so I'm just going to put it the second to top. Oh, back, back. Or third to top, whichever one I can get in right now. Oh, let me put it through this latch. Which in the winter, and sometimes this summer, it like gets swollen. The leather gets swollen, so sometimes it's hard. And you put it on the other one. Oh. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, oh. And then originally, usually you'll have a saddle on, but since he kind of doesn't have one, what you're supposed to do is, once the saddle is latched on, you have the martingale run through the legs. You have, oh, it'll go through. You hook it there, and then it's kind of just attached. And then when you're on, you kind of just have control. You cross to make sure they're not all twisted. And then, like I did for example earlier, you cross them. Ah, stop. And then kind of, oh, and there you go.